Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. My name is Joe and today I'm going to be constructing the perfect free hit team for game week 38. It's the final game week of the season and there are quite a few people out there who still have a free hit left. I'm very envious of them. I've got another red arrow and I would dearly love to overhaul my side, but alas I can't. You may not think whatever I come up with is the best free hit team, but so do leave your views on the best players that you think will give you a good final season flourish and in the comments below. Before we get stuck in, please do press that like button and remember to subscribe. Keep up to date with our latest videos and podcasts. We'll be going into, we'll have a few more this week and also we'll have content during the summer. And more importantly, for next season as well, we'll have loads of content to help you prepare for that and regular weekly videos and podcasts to help you climb up your mini leagues, hopefully. Okay, let's have a look at the fixtures, see what we're dealing with here. So we're game week 38 and it's quite lucky. There's quite a good few favourable matchups against promoted teams, or as we should call them now, relegated teams. Arsenal play Southampton, that's away. Bournemouth play Leicester at home. West Ham, they're away as well, but it's against Ipswich. Meanwhile, we've got some all right fixtures here. Newcastle against Everton. Newcastle definitely need a win there. So a few teams like Newcastle, Aston Villa, who need to get a good results in the final game week in order to secure that Champions League place as well. That also includes Man City in that as well. So yeah, Newcastle favourite matchup. I do like Wolves against Brentford. I don't know if Cunha's going to start. He was benched last time out, but looks good for Brentford attackers, I think. Aston Villa against Manchester United. Manchester United in the Europa League. I'm recording this ahead of that final, so I don't know whether they're going to be happy or sad at Manchester United. Either way, good fixture for the likes of Ollie Watkins, I would imagine. Rodgers as well. Looking down the list, Liverpool against Crystal Palace. Not sure what to make of Liverpool at the moment. They've been a bit strange. They've been losing. But the last match against Brighton, for example, they still managed to score 2 goals. So I still think there'll be goals in this. And it is their final game of the season. They're going to be parading the trophy round. So I would imagine they're going to be putting on a show. Salah is still chasing this goal involvement record. I think it's Alan Shearer's originally. I think he needs just one or maybe 2 more. But he's been chasing that for 2 or 3 weeks now. And he missed an open goal against Brighton. So it's quite a tricky one for them. And it's quite a tricky one to know where to go with Liverpool. Manchester City against Fulham. That's actually quite tough to call. Nottingham Forest against Chelsea. Both sides going for Champions League place. Tough to call though. Meanwhile, Brighton against Tottenham. That looks like there's going to be goals in that one. But where will they come from Brighton? Where will they come from Spurs? Spurs, like Manchester United, Europa League final this week. Recording this ahead of that. So you may or may not know the result by the time you see this. So there's all that sort of narrative going on there. Meanwhile, you've got some other narratives out the way, really. Jamie Vardy's played his last game for Leicester. And what a perfect narrative that was, getting the 200th goal and in his 500th appearance. Exactly bang on there. Kevin De Bruyne remains to be seen whether he's actually going to play, but I would imagine he would. But he seemed to have a bit of a send-off last time out. But I think they only need a point against Fulham. So I think, it's firmly in their hands. Whether he plays or not, it remains to be seen. So you've got a few issues like that as well. And you've got a few injuries as well. Really annoying. For me, I own 2 of those. Saliba, hamstring problem, could keep him out. We don't know yet. Do check out team news later this week. Isak with Newcastle, groin issue could keep him out. Do check team news later in the week. See if he's a problem. Annoyingly, we may not even find out. He may just go into that match as a doubt. I'll be looking to see him in training at some point. Really, if he's not in training by Saturday, then I would say it's doubtful they'll play, or doubtful will be in a fit state really to play there. So okay, they're the fixtures there. I'll put up a couple of tables that I've already put up on the video I do each week where I interview FPL General about his plans as well. But so I won't go into too much detail on there. Do have a look at that video so we chat about these players here. But I just want to pull out a few names here just to consider really. So as you can see, Bournemouth against Leicester. So that does put the likes of Kirkes and Howson up the charts for for getting attacking-minded defenders in. You might need that for Saliba, for example, who could be out. So Kirkez has got 6 assists and a couple of goals for the season. Howson, who's Real Madrid bound, has 3 goals and an assist this season. There's some other ones, notable ones. Wan-Bissaka, he's got 5 assists and a couple of goals, and he's doing well linking up with Bowen at the moment at West Ham, and they do play a relegated side. Calafiori could be coming in. Whenever he plays, he certainly makes his chance. He's got an assist and a couple of goals in just 11 starts. That's pretty good returns there. Porro could be an intriguing option. Can't see a clean sheet against Brighton. Could get an attacking return. He's got 6 assists for a mighty 56 chances created, which is absolutely huge. A couple of goals too. 8 Nori as well is always quite reliable. I certainly would be playing him if I had him against Brentford. Don't know if I'm going to be getting a clean sheet. In fact, I doubt it. But it's that attacking return. He's got 7 assists so far, which is absolutely huge for a defender that's pretty relatively cheap as well. Some other stats that are interesting that will form who my thoughts here is the captaincy, really. So I only really personally want to bring in a player that either I'm going to captain or is captainable. So Salah's a tricky one, keeps missing, but he is going for that title, for that record. His minutes per expected goal involvement, non-penalty last 4 matches. It's actually been pretty strong every 145 minutes, but he's only got that 1 goal, 11 chances, 11 shots inside the box, 2 shots on target, 1 goal. That's a bit of a concern. I don't know if I would put the armband on him there, but he does have pedigree, obviously. Bowen's the one that I like. Don't own him though, annoying, but 5 attacking returns his last 4 matches, and he plays Ipswich. I'm actually going to be, personally, I'm not going to be around Sunday afternoon. I'm out. And so I'm not going to have access to all the team leaks and all those kinds of things. So I think what I might do is just get Bowen in, captain him, and then just leave it, and then just check in a bit later in the day, see how I did. As you can see with my rank at the moment, 117k, which is currently my lowest. If I finish on this or around that, that will be my lowest of the season. So not great for seasons so far. It seemed okay at places, but you really need to nail some of those differentials, I think, or you need to get some of those players, like, for example, I mean, this isn't really a post-mortem for my season, but an example is I went for Anthony Gordon recently rather over Murphy. That probably cost me about 30 points over 2 or 3 weeks alone. And it's little decisions like that have such huge consequences. And to be honest, that's the difference between top 70k finish to top 120k finish. Just that one little move there, that 30 points. So there's not much to beat yourself up about these things. But okay, nevertheless, I do like Bowen, and I think I might do that. Saka getting a lot of interest, really, but hasn't returned that much. No goals, no assists last 4 matches. But he's certainly been getting the shots inside the box and creating chances. So 9 shots inside the box, created 8 chances. Watkins against Manchester United looks good as well. Brian Mboma I really like as well. Another one I might just put the armband on and just leave it, because he's got a goal, a couple of assists, and I think he'll get more. Evanilson against Leicester. I'm not sure what to make of Bournemouth at the moment. They've got nothing to play for. Against Leicester side, we've got nothing to play for either. So they're at home. I think he's pretty good. So if Isak's out, I might be tempted just to get him in and see where we go there. So they're the stats. Okay, let's have a look at the actual team I've come up with. Okay, so I've used the planner tool, the Fantasy Football Scout app for this one. So I've replaced my team with these lads. So some of the players I do have, many of them I don't. So I made 10 transfers out of this lot, so I don't own a lot of these players. It's left me with 1.1 million in the bank. My team value is about 105.4, something like that. So this should be very affordable, especially if your team value is about 104, something like that. But I've also spent quite a bit here, and you can go for much cheaper options. So I've got a 3-4-3, and I'm definitely targeting a lot of those fixtures and players that I've already mentioned there, targeting those relegated sides, and also looking at some of those matchups that could have a lot of goals in it. That Liverpool game, for example, that Brentford game against Wolves looks quite good. The Aston Villa playing Manchester United, they look quite good. Okay, so I've got a 3-4-3 here, and I've got some options on the bench as well, which you can easily put in. I was quite pleased last week. I got Vardy as one of those options there, so he did indeed return. So an important goal for Narrative FC. So I've gone for Raya in goal here, with doubts over Saliba, and I've gone for Kiwior. I do like a clean sheet there for Southampton, for Arsenal away to Southampton there. So I think we go for that, and I think there's going to be a lot of Arsenal defensive coverage floating around. Annoying for me because I've only got Saliba, but I think there will be a lot floating around there. So going for a double is the way to sort of get an advantage on that. I've gone for Wan-Bissaka. Really like his link up with Bowen. He's away to Ipswich, good fixture. And another promoted side here, Kirkes, I've gone for there. On my bench, I've got Hewson, or Howson, however you want to pronounce it. He is at home to Leicester there. So Kirkes. So that's a full defence against relegated sides there. So in midfield, I have gone for Saka, but I haven't put the armband on him. I think, nevertheless, he has the potential there. And do check out the Goals Imminent podcast I do every week with Mark Joblin. Should have a lot more information about him there. So I'm just going to take a sip of something. A little bit of tea, which I'll be having a cup of tea at the end of this season, certainly, just to clear my throat. I've got Salah in here. I think this is his last chance to get that goal involvement he craves. So hopefully he'll get that there. But I'm not confident enough for the armband. Brian Mboma gets the vice captaincy for me, and he is in. I cannot see a game against Wolves away where Brian Mboma doesn't get a return at least in this. He missed a penalty at the weekend, which might put some people off. Bear in mind, it's the only penalty he has missed for Brentford, so it's rare. And the armband I've given to Bowen there. He's just so reliable at the moment there. And I think whilst West Ham don't score as many goals as, say, the likes of, I don't know, Man City, Arsenal, etc., I feel that if they do, his goal involvement is so high that he's worth that shot. If you see a goal update for West Ham, you look at the scorer, look at the assister. It's good. One of them probably going to be Bowen. I think he's got a sort of ridiculous goal involvement rate of like 75% under Potter there. So I like him for the armband there, and I haven't owned him for a while, so I'm quite keen to get him in. Up front, I've gone for Ollie Watkins. I do like that fixture away to Manchester United. I can see some goals there. A lot of goals in Manchester United on the final day in history as well. Well, back when Ferguson was there and they played West Brom at any rate. I think that was 5-5. That would be good. I wouldn't mind that. Evanilson, home to Leicester. Surely he's going to get some returns in that one. And Wissa as well with the Brian Mboma. I just think he's in my side at the moment. I mean, why would I take him out? And I just think he's a really good option here. So if you're free hitting, I think just go for that double Brentford attack somewhere. Kevin Schade is another option there. So on my bench, if you don't fancy that Arsenal double up, you can go for Nick Pope, home to Everton. Everton aren't that great in terms of attacking. So there could be, and it is home, and Newcastle are much better at home, I feel. If you don't fancy Salah, or indeed if you fancy doubling up on that Liverpool midfield, Diaz, now he was benched in the Brighton game, so he should play this. I would imagine the final game is going to be the main 11. So I think, I think you're going to see Diaz, you're going to see Salah, it's going to be Gakpo, you're going to see... I don't know about Alexander-Arnold, though, because he was get booed last time. So Bradley might get a start there. But Crystal Palace are doing okay at the moment, even though they've achieved their points total. But, they've got a lot of pride still to play for. They're still doing well, even though they are, sort of still celebrating after their FA Cup win. So Luis Diaz, I think, is a very strong option there. I've already mentioned Dean Howson there. And the other defender there, just go for cheap. I think Livramento there. You could easily go for someone like, if you've got a bit more money, I don't know, Van Dijk could get a goal, or you could go for perhaps doubling up, or maybe I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I just think a Newcastle defender would be good. So if you didn't want to use Pope, you could put Livramento in. I don't know. Trippier's going to be fit, so pay attention to team news on that one. But I think they could be good at home to Everton. That's sort of traditionally quite a good fixture there. So there's a lot of players to go for. There's a lot of players that are sort of well owned. I can see Brian and Bomo being over 100% in effective ownership, that includes the captaincy. Salah, I can see Saka's ownership going up. Bowen's ownership will certainly go up, but he will be over 100% with captaincy, I think, for Bowen. But I think he's still going to get points out. So a non-owner like me getting him in, I think you're still going to get a good lot of points out of him. Sort of rank rise there. So, he could be something like 110, 120% own with captaincy factored into it. So you're still getting like 80, 90% of his points. That's what I think, anyway, is possible. So there's lots of options there. Good luck with the game week. Good luck with whatever you're going for. A lot of mini league titles going, so that might influence your decisions. And good luck with, obviously claiming if you've got any targets for rank rises and stuff like that. So take care. Have a good game week. Have a good finale to the season. For this type of video, see you again next season. But obviously, I'll be back for other videos, team news this Friday, and recording a Goals Imminent show with Mark Joblin very soon, actually. So there's lots and lots going on. Burning questions and all that kind of things. Scoutcast has been on this week. So there's lots to help you prepare for the season. Take care. See you soon.